So I was literally late in bed the other night. I could not sleep. And I was just lying there staring at the ceiling. And I was like, Dark Cloud is a freaking awesome game. And more people need to talk about it. So here I am talking about Dark Cloud. So with that all being said, what is up guys, Jen here, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. As always, got you covered with timestamps down below. If there's a certain section you want to skip to, feel free to do so, whatever floats your boat. All I ask is for you to support the channel and hit that like button. And if you like the content that you are seeing, please consider hitting that subscribe button also. So let's dive straight in. Dark Cloud is an old game. It came out on the PS2, and I want to tell you about my history before we dive into the game and how I got into this great title. I got the PlayStation 2, and with the PlayStation 2, I got Gran Turismo 3 and Way Hey Hey Crazy Taxi, and a demo disc with a good selection of games on it. And one of the games on that demo disc was Dark Cloud. And I can't remember if this was a timed demo, so you could play as much as you want and then you got kicked out at a certain stage, or if there was a limit to that demo. But I played that religiously. I went in and I played it and I got kicked out. I went in and I played more, got better, got further, got kicked out. And I kept doing it until I eventually got the game, and that is pretty much how I was sold on it. So let's talk about Dark Cloud. Let's go over the story. I'm going to read you the synopsis off the box art because it's that classic PS2 kind of synopsis. So let's get into it. Revival of an ancient evil once banished, rebirth of a land once destroyed, renewal of love once lost. Two great continents, one an advanced civilization driven by the progress and technology, the other where nature is the center of all existence and everyone lives harmoniously side by side. Two cultures that have never had contact with each other until now. An ancient evil has been unleashed. Journey on a quest through time and unravel the mysterious tale of the Dark Cloud. Pretty epic synopsis there, but we take control of a character named Tone. We see in the intro that the Dark Genie is awakened and he is ready to destroy the world. But before he destroys everything, we have a good old wizard on our side that traps everything in these Atla orbs and throws them off wherever he sees fit. During the Dark Genie's destruction, Tone's hometown also gets destroyed, but again, majority of that village is saved in the Atla. The wizard then recruits us to save the world, essentially, and gives us the Atamilla, which has the ability for us to go and get the Atla orbs, open them up, and restore the world to the way we actually see fit, and we'll dive into that. And to be fair, the story wasn't what sold me on it. I really like the way they do the cutscenes in this game when they're explaining gameplay and mechanics. They've got these hand-drawn images that just really just do the point of explaining what to do. But also the cutscenes in general, the thing that always lives forever in my memory is Tone's reaction to whenever he sees the wizard or when something's going off, because it always has that gasped look, or if there's some WTF moments going off, he has that plain looking silent protagonist face. So with the story out the way, I've got to talk about the gameplay because I think the gameplay is to this day amazing. I went back and I played a couple of hours in preparation for this video, just so I can remember all the things and without forgetting anything. This is an RPG through and through. I guess a lot of people compare it to Zelda, especially the 3D Zeldas on the Nintendo 64 in its combat. But what we have to do is we need to go dungeon crawling, find the Atla orbs, and then we have the ability to then rebuild the village to the way we see fit. And the town building is something that sold me on pretty early on because I just like making villages the way I see fit and getting those Atla orbs, and then you have the houses, and then each house has slots to fill, whether it's an NPC that lives there, whether they want a fence around the property, a lamp at night time. You can collect river, trees, bridges, roads. But the really unique thing I like about it is once you kind of progress to a certain stage, the villagers start having certain requests. They want to be near certain things, or they want to be away from certain NPCs, and you really craft the village to try and get it at 100% happiness. And once you do that, you obviously get all the items that help you along the way. And to be fair, that gameplay loop alone is just amazing, but there's so much more to Dark Cloud, and that is in its combat. So the dungeon crawling is pretty A to B, pretty basic at its core, but there's so much to it. So we have to traverse through these dungeons, find the Atlas orbs, we have to find chests, we go to the next floor, fight bosses in like a quick time event type thing for certain cutscenes, and then we fight the boss naturally. And there's so much to this. So let me try and break this down without missing anything. We have a thirst meter, which is crazy to think that this game was back in 2000 and we've got like some survivability. When that drops down to 0, you start losing your health. You can either use water you have in your inventory, or sometimes in the dungeons there may be a pool of water that will refresh you with a simple and you are back at full thirst. You can obviously increase the amount of thirst you have as you collect more gourds, if I remember correctly, and that's just a nice little aspect to keep you on your toes during the dungeons. Not only that, but we have a plethora of weapons here. We can upgrade weapons, we can customize these to our liking whenever and however we want. It's quite an in-depth system when you look at it, but it's very simple the way it presents itself. So we could collect something that could increase its speed. We equip it in, and then when we upgrade it, it takes that away, so it's permanent, and then we could put something else in. We get an attachment pretty early on in the game, which is the Stone Killer, which does more damage against enemies that are stones. And one of the enemies is this cute little stone dog that pops up like a cardboard box, and having that Stone Killer attachment on will obviously do more damage. But the caveat with weapons is that they are breakable. Oh no, breakable weapons. But it again adds another layer. When I was playing this recently, I had my weapon durability very low. It was beeping, it was telling me it was about to break, and I did not want it to break. And I always remember like frantically looking around the dungeons for some repair powder. Where is this repair powder? And when I find it, it's so satisfying. We do it, and then I end up getting like really low durability again because I'm trying to get all the monsters. But it's just one of many elements to the dungeon crawling that makes it intense, makes it fun, makes it so you want to leave the dungeon, compose yourself, and then dive back in, get more Atlas stones, get more NPCs, open up the shop, get more upgrades, and go back in. I just love the gameplay loop. It's so addictive. Not only that, there's 6 characters as you progress through the story. There's many characters that have many abilities that will help you along your way when you're doing the journey through Dark Cloud. It's madness just looking back at the game at how much it has to offer. There's so many items to collect, so many ways to upgrade, so many ways to customize the character to your liking, and of course, very many ways to break the game. Let's go back to the world as well. It has a day and night system, which is crazy to think back in the day, with weather effects as the day changes, the music changes, it tells you when it's the afternoon, it tells you when it's the morning, it tells you when it's the night, and it's just a world that I love, and I just really wanted to spend this video just kind of gushing about it. This obviously an old PS2 game, there's clunk that comes with it, but it's got that charm, and I really want to know if there's more people out there that have played Dark Cloud, because this is an incredible game on the PlayStation 2, and it is available to buy on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 if you haven't yet played it. Before I go away, I'll touch on the music as well. The music is a soundtrack that's very nostalgic to me. You'll hear it playing in the background of this video because it's just a real chill time. I like the theme song, I like the battle theme, I like the first dungeon theme, I like all of it, okay? I like the soundtrack. It's just a nice soundtrack to have on and just listen to some really good tunes. So there we have it. Kind of just a random video here on Dark Cloud. I really want to know your thoughts. Have you played Dark Cloud? What are your thoughts about it? I actually got the Platinum Trophy on Dark Cloud as well, which is just my love towards that game and nostalgia. I really want to play it again. I think it needs a remaster. I think it needs a 3rd sequel, but that is for another time. I appreciate you watching. If you want to get involved in the comment section below, please feel free to do so. If you like the video, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.